KASMUEL Mcoure has been brutally beaten by President William Ruto's officers after taking him to an unknown place. ODM youth leader KASMUEL Mcoure opens up like never before. In a shocking and emotional interview, he describes how he was allegedly brutalized by President William Ruto's security officers after a public event in Siaya County. The political temperature in Siaya rose sharply after a football match held at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Stadium, attended by both Raila Odinga and President William Ruto. Amid the cheers and excitement, ODM youth leader KASMUEL Mcoure decided to greet both leaders, a move that, according to him, changed everything. After greeting Baba and then the president, I saw the mood around me change immediately, he recounted emotionally during an interview. When the match ended, some officers approached me quietly, told me to follow them, and led me to a waiting car. Inside that car, KASMUEL says his nightmare began. He was accused of breaching presidential protocol, something he insists was a mere misunderstanding. They told me I had embarrassed them and might cost them their jobs. Before I could even explain myself, they started beating me, he said, his voice trembling. He claimed the officers blindfolded him and drove him around for hours, taking him to an unknown location. I was scared for my life. I didn't know if they could kill me or just leave me somewhere in the wilderness. When they finally stopped, I was disoriented, bruised, and terrified. When they dropped him off, KASMUEL said he reacted out of anger. I threw 5,000 into their car just out of frustration, but they threw it back, saying they didn't want my money. Later that night, he said he received a call from Raila Odinga, who wanted to check on his condition, a gesture that KASMUEL described as deeply comforting. Baba called me personally. That meant everything. He has always shown concern for those who stand with him. That call reminded me why I believe in him.
Penya. Nikaenda nikasalimia rais, nikasalimia baba kwanza. Is it okay if I say hi to the president or whatever? I said, yeah, just held my hand. So your time, security inaanza kunihanda. Hey, nikaingia kwa shida na presidential security detail. Kusheva, toka hapo. Baba akasema, wacha, stop it. Kanivuta hivi, preso akawaambia waacheni. So nimesalimia General Museveni, nikasalimia President Ruto, whatever, akaambia kaongea kidogo, kina Orengo nikarudi nikaketi. I just knew something had changed. Kaulizwa utakuja ama bado unataka kuleta drama.
The alleged incident sparked outrage online, with Kenyans demanding an official statement from the government and questioning the conduct of presidential security personnel. KASMUEL has since vowed to pursue justice, not just for himself, but for all young Kenyans who face intimidation when expressing their political beliefs. KASMUEL Mcoure was born in Kenya, and from early on, he showed a keen interest in youth organization, music, and speaking out. Growing up in a context where many young Kenyans felt excluded from decision-making, Mcoure found his voice. He pursued his higher education at the Technical University of Kenya, where he completed a Bachelor of Commerce in Finance and Financial Management Services in 2020. At the same time, he dabbled in music education and arts. He founded a band and initiatives like Maskani Big Band and Kaskazini Music, combining his artistic passions with youth mentorship. As Kenya's youth movements began gaining momentum, especially around proposed fiscal policies and governance issues, Mcoure rose into the spotlight. In 2024, when the finance bill triggered mass protests led significantly by Gen Z activists, Mcoure emerged as a prominent voice. His activism gained traction through social media and public appearances, catching the attention of established political actors. In November 2024, Mcoure officially joined the Orange Democratic Movement (ODM), pledging to help revitalize its youth and student wings and mobilize young Kenyans within the party. By early 2025, Mcoure was publicly working alongside senior ODM figures, attending major party events and participating in key outreach missions for the Youth League. He declared his mission to ensure that young people are not just voices in the crowd, but decision makers at the table. But his rise has not been without debate. Some critics argue his shift into formal party politics signals a departure from his protest roots. Others believe he is positioning for broader influence ahead of the 2027 elections. Today, KASMUEL Mcoure stands at crossroads, an activist turned party figure, a musician educator turned youth mobilizer, and a young Kenyan determined to shape the direction of his country. His story is still unfolding, and for many, it embodies the changing face of politics in Kenya.
Baba.
Ruto ni mwizi, ni wazimu wa ukweli.
Ruto ni mwizi, ni wazimu wa ukweli.
Ni wazimu
wa ukweli.
Ni wazimu
wa ukweli.
Ruto ni wazimu
wa ukweli.
Ni wazimu
wa ukweli.
Viva comrades, viva!
Viva!
Viva comrades, viva!
Viva!
Viva the people of Kenya, viva!
Viva!
Viva to the young people of Kibra, viva!
Viva!
Viva to the young people of Kayole, viva!
Viva!
Viva to the young people of Dandora, viva!
Viva!
Viva to the revolutionary spirit of Kenyans, viva!
Viva!
Thank you very much, comrades. We are gathered here this morning on the eve of the 14th birthday of our Constitution to announce that we are undertaking a mass action, a general strike, a people-led agitation for the respect of our Constitution. Our political class has decided to do nothing but subvert the sanctity of our Constitution.
I'm sick and tired of going to the streets and seeing other people's children die just for clout. I'm sick and tired of going to the streets for entire days for no apparent reason, then other people perform a capture harvest. So that's my line of reasoning. As unpopular as it were, I went there and I said I'm very unrepentant about my speech because I'm very clear about where I'm trying to go and what liberation looks like in my mind. That there are people who will see the bigger picture much, much later, and that's on them. That's not on me. So I asked, and I remember being very confused, asking, what about my speech was wrong? Then I come to later understand that it's because I did not speak about the attack of Morara, which is a thing that is rather despicable and rather shameful, that violence would be meted upon a young person in Kenya. And I would see why people would be outraged, but I did not witness it. So I could not speak upon something that I had not witnessed. I just heard about it, but I